So that is the beginning of our YouTube segment with Will Stribling and the end right there, because that's about all you guys are going to learn today. You can play that swing on repeat, and we're just going to all do that. Just kidding. We're going to talk a little bit about what's happening here, other than the fact that it's perfect with good rhythm. I mean, the real question is more about what hair product are you using? Like, is there like a certain shampoo, a certain conditioner that's... So Will came in, you guys, he's playing really good golf. We've worked hard this summer, maybe even sacrificed a couple of tournaments this summer to make some advancements in the game. Just sacrifice maybe letting the natural ability take over and just scoring just to get some stuff done, because our priority for Will right now, we have years ahead of us for the US Amateur and things like that. We are much more all about Will going to Oregon and kicking some butt out there. So he was a redshirt freshman this last year. So redshirt now, what do they call it? You're a sophomore, but redshirt.
And then it just becomes a fifth-year senior at some point?
Right. So it's your first year of eligibility that will be in use this year. And that's why, we wanted to prepare him to play some great golf. So what's the big key right now, bud? I mean, just good rhythm, right?
Just tempo.
Tempo. If the tempo's good, we're doing what? It's all connected and moving together, right?
Exactly.
Wow. See if he needs me for anything.
Jesus.
I know. In all fairness, though, I will tell the viewer what it is that we both worked hard to achieve more of this year, and it was just not allowing the arms to pin on his side and be stuck to him through the golf ball, which then would kind of force him to hold off late, getting a little bit of that chicken wing look this way. We look for some freedom through impact, really getting the arms moving in front of the body. And that was something that just added some freedom to the swing, kept some more consistency and some more club face stability as a result of the angle being held longer and releasing later, which was really good for him. But now it's like he's put the work in, really done that well. How's the driver right now? Like driver, wedges, bookends of the bag. How's that?
Wedge is good. Driver.
Eh?
Putting it in the fairway most of the time.
Can you get the driver out?
Could be farther, could be straighter.
Get the big dog out. All right, this is where I can say, all right, hold on. Okay, ready? Step out. I want to see, I'm gonna go this foot. Okay, good, I got it. Okay. Dude, I love doing this because then I can step into my player's shoes literally and just feel where you're coming from on this shot, being somebody you're taller than myself, thank God, but I'm not too far off you. My whole point is, bud, if I had to hit this golf shot from here, I don't feel like there's any freedom of movement. So watch, I'm gonna show you where I would be compared to where you are. Okay, hop in here again. This is gonna feel very different, even though it didn't look like I did much. Just a little bit back. Right there. Right there. That's where it is. You feel the arms out away from you?
Yeah.
Freedom, dude. You need freedom. Those arms get pinned to you. It's gonna make a huge difference, dude.
I feel like I'm...
I mean, you can get a half inch closer, But dude, I'm telling you right now, Gabe, does he look too far at all? Looks normal as heck, right?
Yeah, this looks fine.
Yeah, his hands are underneath his nose and mouth, which is exactly where he needs to be. That's gonna happen for a second there. But dude, just start teeing it up and just stepping back an inch from where you were, okay? I promise you, once you get that feeling dialed in, you're really forcing yourself to kind of back up and out of that, just from where you were, to make space. You'll get it, buddy. Just give yourself a second. That was hit pretty hard though.
Drew a little much.
A little much, but give it a second, give it a second. Okay, so with the driver, unlike the irons, just a little side note here. When I'm setting up, irons are typically directly underneath the shoulders. The woods, I mean, I want to see the driver a little bit more out towards nose and mouth right here. Okay, you got to give yourself a little bit of freedom of movement, especially with that longer club, the ability to really extend and get the arms, straightened out through impact, not being so bunched up. Okay, I think it will make a big difference with that driver. Definitely too close to that ball. There you go. That ball was terrible, but that was a good swing.
Yeah.
Here, let me get you a good ball. Dang, that was crushed right there. You should be seeing a much more like towering ball flight, like bombed, compared to where you were when anybody who gets too close to the golf ball and gets on top of it and then has the ball, in my opinion, a hair too far back, if anything, you're just asking yourself to hit down right on top of that ball if you don't back up out of it.
Probably part of why I noticed the other day my attack angle went down.
Yes.
It used to be like +4.
Yes.
And it was down to 0.1 the other day.
Well, a lot of that has to do with the fact that you were just right on top of it. It was right on top of where, being the top of your pendulum ball, club's going to strike down on it. And then when you're closer to the golf ball, it's why I tell people with wedges, I'm always telling them, hey, get closer to the ball when you hit a little knockdown shot. Why? Well, because the golf club just works right down on top of the golf ball, and that's what helps me flight it like that. So very important to understand that with that driver, to meet the equator of the golf ball, you want to be the appropriate distance. And I believe not only when you're close is it tough to get the ball elevated, but just to meet the equator of the ball from that distance is really tough. If you didn't stand up a little bit and stand up out of it, the golf club would have no chance through impact. If I just barreled through the setup that you were in, I would see it low right every single time. I'd have to do something to not get it to go low right.
Yep.
Hey, well, hit that downwind in Hawaii this year when you guys go play, and let me tell you, that ball will go 450, dude. That thing was just absolutely crushed. Give me that driver real quick. Let's see what these settings are on as a result of where you've had to. So tell me about the PXG here, because I'm not as familiar with PXG.
That's just on standard.
Is this just dead standard?
Yeah.
Is there anything that can be done to lower the ball flight?
I think so. Should I try?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I don't ever want to drop the loft on a golf club. People do that a lot. You got to be careful with that, because what you're doing is you're taking away spin. And I know some people get obsessed. Oh, the knuckleball is going to roll farther. Yeah, it's also going to be a heck of a lot tougher to keep in a straight line. So when you're adding loft, a lot of times you're adding spin. The ball will climb and stay straighter. You take it away and you get some of those knuckleballs that go offline. I try to find the fine line for my golfers. I know that numbers can say one thing, but I still believe our eyes can say more. And when you see a ball flight, a visible ball flight that just is not conducive to what optimal is, you can mess around with these drivers now to really help you get there. I think it's a big lesson for a lot of people. This will be interesting. Let's watch this game. There it is. Thank you. Whoa, dude. We found it.
Yeah, that went a mile.
1 mile. That's still climbing, and it had spin, but it was very flat and penetrating. So that exactly that thing's hitting the ground like this, as opposed to like this. That was fantastic, but it also didn't knuckle out of the air and kill the carry distance, which was really very important. Oh my. Gabe, how about that ball flight? Yeah. Look at Mike over there. Mike's over there, like, eyebrows went up, like, what? Pity. What are you using? Are you using the Pro V1 or the Pro V1X?
Pro V1X.
The X. What's your reasoning on that?
I tried them both and I liked it.
Awesome. What do you like more about the X? Because I get this question all the time from people who are asking.
It feels a little firmer to me.
Feels a little firmer to you. That's what it should be.
I actually switched from the Strixon G-Star XV
Okay, it's a good ball.
to the Pro V1X. And so coming from that, which is a really firm golf ball, the way it felt.
Do you think it's a little bit, it still has that firm feel, but it's really good around the greens? Yeah. That's what typically, you know, Titleist balls do have that.
I couldn't really spin I used to just not spin my chip shots, and I blamed it on my form. Started coming down here, and I was like, well, I should be able to spin it.
You're hitting it exactly the way we wanted it to, yeah.
And then when I tried the Pro X, it did check and spin.
Did check and spin.
Like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. You know, a lot of. It's so particular. I mean, you know, I've played the V1 and the X, and there were times where I just loved that X, and then wasn't getting the reaction I wanted to around the green, so I went to Pro V1, and yeah, it's good, really good. So good. I mean, you hit it right where you were aiming, and then it just cut a little bit. The difference in the loft, though, with the changes in the setup, a little bit farther away, a little bit. Yeah, here, go right at the.
It just feels like when I look down, if I look straight down, it almost feels like it's like just inside my eye.
Love it, love it. Come up with a personal. Perfect. Personal checkpoints are huge, bud. Let's do it. Oof. That was real nice. Wow. That ball just landed, by the way. It's pretty good. Yeah, hey, this is our next one right here, bud. This is Will's good buddy, Kelvin. Kelvin plays over at USD, and he's a sophomore, so he's he'll be in one of the next featured videos for sure. We'll get you filmed next week. This guy's money, dude. You should see him. His swing's great. He's made some huge strides, 2 lessons so far in. And I love his coach, Chris Riley, in USD, so I got to make sure I do the team proud, get this guy dialed in, no questions asked. What's the difference on the ones that you just squeeze out there a little bit to the right versus the ones that you feel like you get through completely?
Honestly, I feel a little more passive through impact.
Like, yeah.
It feels more comfortable to me, even though I've always played a draw.
Yeah. No, I know, like that cut almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it stays in the air forever, doesn't it?
Yeah. And since I finally have
a penetrating one,
with
yeah,
less spin.
Exactly.
The fact that it's cutting isn't going to make it go nowhere, which is what I felt like.
Hit that shot. Hit it between the black and the green flag here, and let's just shape it in there. Don't even try to. I mean, just envision that little tiny cut. And then double cross it and hit it 10 left with 10 more yards of draw.
Yeah, exactly. It's always what we try to do.
Every ball was like floating perfectly right until you tried to do it. Don't try, just set up and hit it. Feel that same passive feeling. I love what you just said, passive through and back. But make sure you get the setup correct. Distance from the golf ball, instep. That ball can be just a hair more forward in your stance. Beautiful, there we go. Dude, look at this ball flight. That would be really nice if you could just repeat that all the time.
Yeah.
That was so good. You know who's a cool guy too? Who ran into a couple times, the US Amateur, Yuki.
I love you.
What a great guy. What a great personality.
Yes.
Great personality. Always smiling, happy. Thank you guys so much for watching our video. Any questions or comments you have, please leave them below. Also, click the link below to pick up 3 free videos. We appreciate you guys. Enjoy our channel.